And we are live with the black screen of death. Yes, that was water. Yes, don't worry about it. But we're here with another gaming news video or stream, technically. I mean, it'll eventually become a video. This one won't be as long as the previous one. Well, it depends how long this podcast is. But the future of Xbox is today. Now, this probably is kind of a waste of a stream, to be honest. But I think this is going to be big news. It's starting in 3 minutes. And apparently, you know, we've heard rumors the past few weeks about Xbox games coming to PlayStation, and now they're doing this business update or podcast, which is very weird. Like, why are you doing a podcast and not, you know, like a talking to the community, maybe jumping on kind of funny or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing a podcast between themselves to talk about the future of Xbox. That doesn't seem like good news, because it's either going to be all games coming to PlayStation, some games coming to PlayStation, and then eventually others will follow. Smaller games coming to PlayStation at first, then others will follow. Or it'll be a nothing burger, and they'll just be like, yeah, nothing's coming to PlayStation. But we're going to bring the games to Game Pass or something like that. Or they get the Activision games to Game Pass. Or they're going to announce something big like Game Pass is coming to PlayStation. And if that happens, then Xbox is definitely done for. Felt the breeze. Anyway, boo. Apparently, I mean, it's meant to start in the next minute, right? I don't know if it's going to be on like Xbox's channel or like, is it going to be in the live section? Is it going? I don't think it's a stream, right? Because it would have already been visible. Keep refreshing Xbox's YouTube page, see what happens. They did say it's on YouTube, right? Yeah. Huh. There's noise in the background, don't worry about it. I don't think the mic will even pick it up, but still. So I keep muting myself. What the fuck? I mean, it's 8 o'clock. There's nothing here. I'm so confused. I mean, everyone's kind of like streaming this, right? Where the fuck is Xbox? Is it on Twitter? Yes, I still call it Twitter because it is. I mean, the URL still says Twitter. Phil Spencer. I ain't fucking following Phil Spencer. No, that's not the right Phil Spencer. What the fuck, Twitter? It says join us. YouTube/Xbox, right? Where the fuck is it? Huh? Because I don't fucking see it. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's a 20-minute thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The fact that they just it's a pre-recorded podcast, it's not even live. That's bad news. Maybe.
Hello and
Exclusivity.
Welcome to the official Xbox podcast. I'm your host, Tina Amini, and we have a very special episode today, as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm joined by Phil, Sarah, and Matt. Welcome. And we're going to talk about some updates at Xbox. We want to talk about game exclusivity. We want to talk about Activision Blizzard now that they're part of our portfolio, how that might be an impact on Game Pass. And we want to talk about hardware, too, and how all of this fits into the strategy at Xbox. So where should we start, Phil?
Well,
this seems too corporate.
We originally had planned for the show starting back in December. I think we probably would have started with Activision Blizzard, maybe talked a little bit about the exclusivity with some of the news coming up, and then hardware. But we've had some unforeseen news that has come out. So let's just go and tackle the
unforeseen news,
because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us. So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy. It is
why 4 though?
Making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind.
If he says case by case.
And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators.
But they're bringing 4 games over to test how well they're going to do. If they do well, they're going to bring more.
And to grow.
That's how it would work.
It's an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
So these 4 titles, what are they? Can you say?
Hi-Fi
I'm
Bush.
not going to name those
Grounded.
games. The teams
Starfield.
that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements with the partners. So I don't want to take anything away from those teams. So I won't be talking about the titles.
So why even talk about it then? Like, why even say 4 games?
It'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Well, what was the criteria in how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to the 4 specific games that we're talking about right now. Because the fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health of Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players.
It's not fucking grown in years. What are you talking about?
As much success as possible.
Don't show me. I don't want to see that. Don't fucking show me Starfield.
Over the next 5 or 10 years.
Don't fucking show me that. Disgusting pile of shit.
Games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight.
You can show me Halo. I'm fine with that.
10 years and what the biggest games are today.
Wait, they said Starfield and Indiana Jones is Halo one of them?
Multiple consoles, mobile console and PC. You see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a great platform for
what is this
creators
pixelization
that
now?
are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on these four specific titles. We looked at games that are over a year old, so they've been on Xbox
Sea of Thieves
for a while. A couple of the games are community-driven games,
Sea of
new
Thieves.
games,
Halo.
Kind of first iterations of a franchise that have reached their full potential, I'd say, on Xbox and PC. There's always growth. Franchises that we obviously want to continue to invest in. Part of having the ability to continue to invest is that the businesses behind those franchises continue. We think it's important that these service-based games that have communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to exist in the future. So 2 of them, kind of community-driven.
Nah, they're bringing all of them over. You can't go, oh yeah, let's bring Sea of Thieves over, which is, if that is one of the titles. If that is one of the titles, right? That is a Rare-owned game. Rare made that. Rare is a first-party studio. No, not all. It's 4. They're bringing 4 games over, which will eventually turn into all. Because that, I mean, business-wise, they're going to see the money that they're making and going to be like, you know what, let's keep doing it. right? Like, to me, I feel like it's probably Pentiment. Probably, I mean, Pentiment's not even that big of a game though. Like, Hi-Fi Rush I could see. Sea of Thieves I could see. Grounded. But, like, all three of them games are, like, first-party games. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, Activision and Bethesda, like, they're technically third-party publishers that were just randomly bought by Xbox, right? I look at, like, Obsidian and Ninja Theory as more of, like, the first-party portfolio rather than the whatever fucking Microsoft did lazily with Bethesda and Activision. Instead of building their teams up, they bought more studios and then laid off a shit ton of people. Well done for that one. But, like, I don't know. Like, if I assume it's probably Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush hasn't been out for years, though. It's only been a year. Starfield and Indiana Jones aren't a part of that yet. I wouldn't take anything he says word of mouth because he backtracks every like 2 fucking months. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Games that will end up on other platforms and give us the ability to continue to invest in them. We think that's great for the business and great for the communities. More players to play with. I'd say 2 of the other games are smaller games that
Grounded,
were never really meant to be
Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush
exclusives and all the fanfare that goes around that.
So it's got to be Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment. Maybe.
But games that our teams really wanted to go build, that we love supporting creative endeavors across our studios, regardless of size. And as they've realized their full potential on Xbox and PC, we see an opportunity to utilize the other platforms as a place to just drive more business value.
I feel like if it's just them 4 titles, the ones that do the best is Sea of Thieves and Grounded. I feel like. Because Pentiment's way too niche. And Hi-Fi Rush is also niche. Like, a lot of people aren't really into rhythm games. You know, I haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, even though I've got an Xbox. I don't.
Games allowing us to invest in maybe future iterations of those.
How does that apply to future titles?
Or just other games like that in our portfolio. And when we don't damage Xbox and we can grow our business using what other platforms have and to help us with that, we're going to do that. And that's really the story behind these 4 games. And last thing I'll say, looking forward, I think there is an interesting story for us of introducing Xbox franchises to players on other.
Well, there you go. Well, you just said more. It is basically him saying more are going to be coming.
Platforms to get them more interested in Xbox. We think there's a good brand value for Xbox.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. A lot of your franchises kind of fucking suck. Halo's down the drain. Forza's a racing game, so I don't give a fuck about that. But Starfield's ass. Hellblade was good. Doesn't need a sequel, but I'll play it. State of Decay sucks. What else have they got? Call of Duty sucks. Definitely. They need. I feel like what they need is bring Doom.
Doom. There, so
Doom. I swear to God, if the next Doom isn't on PlayStation, I'm gonna throw something. Fucking bullshit, dude. I played 2016 and Eternal on PlayStation for the first time. That was like my first kind of experience with Doom 2016. And now you're telling me the next Doom isn't on PlayStation, so I can't build up my trophies? Are you mad? Because achievements fucking suck. They're dated as shit.
4 games, no promise beyond that. So if you're on those other platforms and you see these 4 games coming, please don't take it as some signal that everything's coming. It's not. And we're going to learn.
So when you are thinking about the future and this concept of live service games, games that can benefit from...
I'm adding yet there. No promise beyond that. Yet. I'm adding that in because 100% they're going to see how much them games are going to make and they're going to be like, you know what? Let's bring more over. That's how businesses work. That's how companies work. If they see more money in something, they'll pursue it.
Please don't take it as some signal that everything's coming. It's not. And we're going to learn.
By the end of this year,
So
Phil
when you were
Spencer won't be a
thinking
part of
about the
Xbox,
future
I'm
and
telling you.
this concept of live service games that can benefit from bigger audiences and new
I think Sarah
audiences,
Bond will take
how does
over.
that apply to future titles and how you're applying that criteria there?
Yeah, there's really no fundamental change to how we think about exclusivity. We just came out of Developer Direct, which was an awesome show, where we showed great games that are coming to Xbox and PC and cloud, which really makes them accessible to hundreds of millions of people. So it's this kind of
But they don't know. They don't. Considering Nintendo and PlayStation are the biggest gaming brands, the Xbox really ain't pulling the punches, you know what I mean?
Focus on a couple platforms and what's going to show up there. But our key of play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want,
Except Nintendo and PlayStation.
when everybody plays, we all win. These have been part of our strategy for years and will continue to be. Our focus is on how do we continue to grow the games industry by reaching more players in more places, and how do we grow Xbox as part of that.
But your business model sucks. Like, it legitimately is arse, because look what's happening to Disney Plus. Look what's happening to all these subscription services like Netflix, Paramount Plus. What's even on Paramount Plus? Fucking Halo, that pile of shit show. Like, the business model of Game Pass just doesn't work. They've not, like, gained that many subs in years. Especially, like, with the release of Starfield. Starfield, I feel like, probably went below their expectations. Well, let's be honest. It's a new IP. It didn't do great review-wise. The community despises it. Well, most of it does. I do. Like, the reviews are mixed on Steam. Like, there's more people playing Fallout 4 over Starfield, and more people playing Skyrim over Starfield on Steam. Like, it was bad.
Xbox is a hardware platform. Xbox is a publisher of great games, and Xbox as a platform for the world's best creators.
And then knowing that, how do we think about our first-party games and Game Pass?
Yeah, well, to build on what Phil just said, one thing I would add, as you were talking about growth, is just that we've sort of seen this inversion over the last 5 years, where it used to be that the platform was the biggest thing.
That's right.
And the games would sort of tuck in within the platform. Today, big games like a Roblox or a Fortnite could actually be bigger than any one platform. And
because they're
that
free to
really has
play.
changed the way that we think about things. So in the midst of all that, I think we at First Party can come back to sort of some core principles. First, that all of our games will be on the Xbox platform. Second, all of our games will go
Well, they
into
won't,
Game
'cause it's on
Pass
PC.
day one. And third, we know that Game Pass will only be available on Xbox. So
Well, it
those are
won't,
sort
'cause
of
it's on
starting
PC.
points for us. As Phil mentioned, there are games today that you can play that only can be found on Xbox. And at the same time,
No, because it's
we want
on
to bring
PC.
more of
Like,
our
what do you
games
mean?
to more players. So we're going to continue to look at that. Kind of moving aside, though, from some of those and thinking more about what does it really mean for the player.
Like, Steam and
To me,
Xbox are not the same
two
fucking
key
thing.
Things are cross-play and cross-save. Those things allow us to deliver on the promise of Xbox, which is play with your friends where they are, play on the devices you want, play the games you want. So
Except
that
PlayStation
is
and
really
Nintendo.
only possible at a practical level.
So that's
when you know
it's
that your
hypocritical
saves and
and
your players are
contradictory
able to
because
move
it
across
doesn't
all those
count
points.
Nintendo and
So
PlayStation.
not all of our games today are necessarily built to take advantage of that. There still will be some games that don't. As we bring more teams into the Xbox family, there's some catch up to do as we get there. But that cross-play, cross-save is like so fundamental to what we're doing, and I think is something that we as First Party get such a good benefit from being so close to the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things, like you said, all of our games are always in Game Pass. And so I'm excited to announce, with the coming together that we had with Activision Blizzard King, that Activision and Blizzard games are coming to Game Pass, starting with Diablo 4 on March 28th, which I'm super, super excited to share today.
Isn't that game bad?
And it's all part of our
I swear the
commitment to
community
make Xbox,
doesn't like
the
that
Xbox
game.
experience and the games that we build as widely available as possible. So now the 34 million Game Pass members can all enjoy.
Wait, why is it starting
the
with
fantastic
Diablo 4? What? What about all the old games? The fuck?
fantastic experience of Diablo 4.
Amazing. Can we come back to the point, Phil, you mentioned at the top, this isn't really a change in strategy for us. Can you recap for me how it isn't?
Yeah, and I thought both Matt and Sarah did a
Also-
really nice job of talking about what
The thing with Diablo, they've got like a battle pass shit in it, right? And it's supposed to be a fully priced game, right? Automatically sucks ass.
we're doing on Xbox.
You can't have a
where
full
we're
price
going.
game with a battle pass on it.
You know, if you
ridiculous.
take a platform feature like Xbox Play Anywhere,
I think there's like
Which is-
skins in Diablo that are like 80 quid, and it's like, fuck off. What are you talking about?
has been a promise that we've made on our first party games that you can buy our game once, you're going to get play across Xbox and Windows. I think we're the only platform that does this. That makes it possible for you not only to play with your
Yep.
friends wherever they are, but to know that you actually have multiple entitlements to the games. I think that's a technology I would love
Until
to
it
see
gets
applied to
delisted.
more platforms. But it is this view that people are going to play Xbox in multiple places. Whether it's play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want, whether it's
nobody's going to go to a fucking skate park and play Xbox games on their fucking phone. Are you dumb?
Words that we've used, but always with this.
No
view
one's going to do that.
That Xbox is a platform for creators who want to reach the most players. Our
Why
investments
do
in
the
xCloud,
advertisements
our
always do
investments
that?
in
Like, no one's gonna
franchises like
fucking do that.
Minecraft and now Call of Duty and other large franchises, so that we learn how to build those. This has been a strategy that we've been on for, I'd say, a decade. It's not about one device. It's not about game.
They've been on this for a decade. 2014? Don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. 2014, you were trying your hardest to fight back, and then you just flopped. Like, let's not.
Service of a device, but rather the devices that people want to play on should be in service of making the games as big and popular as they possibly could be. Because really, a healthy creator community on Xbox, a healthy creator community in gaming,
Oh, game libraries and
is
preservation.
the
That
thing
should be
that all of
interesting.
us as game players should be voting for, because that's the thing that will lead to the best long-term success and growth in this industry.
And my understanding, just from listening and learning from you three over the past few weeks, just understanding what's happening with Xbox, is that we see trends with player behavior where people are playing on multiple devices. That is the reality. And we have put some games out on multiple platforms before. So my understanding is that that's been good for players. How does that come back to the business with all of that in mind?
Yeah.
Wait, what
as you
games have they
said, we
released on multiple
have
platforms?
shipped games on other platforms. In fact, realistically, if you look with the addition of Activision and Blizzard and ZeniMax, we're one of the largest game publishers on PlayStation. We're one of the largest publishers on the Nintendo Switch, especially.
Don't tell me they're counting all these, except that pile of shit. And oh, actually, I thought that was 76. Wolfenstein was a PlayStation game. It was on everything. Dishonored was on everything. Fallout was on everything. Elder Scrolls was on everything. Doom was on everything. Evil Within was on everything. Prey was on everything, except like Switch. So don't tell me they're actually going to be counting these games, because that's not how it works. Like, you can't buy a publisher and then say, oh yeah, the games that they previously made that are on them platforms, that means we're multi-platform publishers. And it's like, no, you bought them after the fact. Like, it doesn't count. Same thing with Minecraft. Like, you can't take credit for fucking Minecraft. Minecraft was already on PlayStation by the time they bought Minecraft, so it makes no sense.
When you put Minecraft into the equation as well.
Minecraft. When did the Minecraft PS3 edition get bought or come out? December 2013. When did Mojang get bought? 2014. So yeah, I mean, it came to PlayStation before
one of the
Xbox bought
largest
them. So
publishers on mobile platforms as well. And that's not something that we want to back away from. We want to continue to be building great games that millions and millions of people can love, and that they can play those games where they want to go play. But we do understand the business success that Xbox has to have. Us as leaders in this business, the system today, the system that all companies that we play video games from, is a world of you got to be growing your business. Growth in our Xbox business is critical to the long-term health of Xbox. Many people know I've been on Xbox for over 20 years, and I want to make sure Xbox is in the best position for the next 20 years. That means healthy player community, healthy creator community, and healthy business. So when we look at opportunities to allow more people to play, more people to engage, more people to buy, more people to subscribe, it's all about putting Xbox in the best position. And our hardware is a critical component of that. The absolute best experience somebody has on Xbox is hardware that your team builds and that people play on. But that's not going to be everybody. We fully accepted that we're going to have Xbox players across all kinds of devices.
I mean, more
So I think
people
a lot
play
of
on
people think about
PC
2023 as
compared
this
to
incredible
Xbox.
year for gaming, and in a lot of ways it was. There was some really amazing releases that I think we all enjoyed. But
Also
what were the
Starfield.
signals behind the scenes that maybe indicated how we wanted to look at the future of Xbox and how we kind of keep up with the industry?
Yeah, such a good question. And I think it's, as people who care about the industry, which I assume is people who are watching this, it was an amazing year. Some great launches, some of the games that I think will stand the test of time and people will be talking about a decade from now. But
Like
it's an
what?
industry that didn't really grow. And what happens when an industry doesn't grow? You end up with some job eliminations, which we had. We had even our own hard decisions to make about building a sustainable business for ourselves, but in no way were we alone.
You're a $3
in
trillion
that.
company.
When you think about a healthy industry, I
owned
want
by a $3
players
trillion
who believe
company.
that they will
Who
find
cares
the
about
best
money?
games on the platforms that they love. I want people who invest their careers in working here to feel like this is a place that they can be successful. And that really is down to being part of an industry that is growing. If you listen to Lisa Su, the AMD CEO, she'll say that AMD-powered consoles are likely to decline in 2024. I think there's an amazing set of games coming in 2024, but if we don't get to growing as an industry, the industry will struggle. And today there's really two choices on how do you grow the industry. Do you say, I have a fixed number of players, the players that we have today, and do I find new ways to monetize those players to get more money from the players that I have? Or do you think about how do I expand the business I have by finding new players and adding those to the base of players that already play? Our focus on Xbox for the last decade has really been on that latter point.
That was
How
right.
do we make sure Xbox is growing for our players, growing for our creators?
Wait. Sea of Thieves on Switch? How the fuck is Sea of Thieves gonna run on Switch? Oh shit, wrong. Wrong fucking thing. Where's the fucking... Where'd it go? I closed it? Fuck. I thought I minimized it. I love how they said they wouldn't tell us what it is and then it's just been revealed anyway. Like, what the fuck? I can't even find the tweet anymore. Charlie Intel. Says a plan to bring new releases and classic catalog games from Activision Blizzard's Game Pass is still happening, not directly confirmed today if COD 2024 will be on Xbox Game Pass day one. Microsoft says Xbox Game Pass has surpassed 34 million. That's terrible. For a subscription service that's been around for, I mean, 2018, like 6 years-ish? 7 years? Like, that's pretty bad. Especially if you compare it to like Disney Plus and shit, right? Disney Plus and Netflix, like they've got over like 100 million subs, but they're also not doing well, right? They're not bringing in like enough money. That's interesting.
So those people are finding success on our platform, which will grow the Xbox business and put Xbox in a position to be very strong for years and decades to come.
Matt, earlier you were talking about these growing gaming communities, how they're incredibly large and comparable on such a different level when we think about console audiences. Like you mentioned Roblox, you mentioned Fortnite. So how are we're obviously thinking about our responsibility, our hardware.
Why are they mentioning
responsibility of
Fortnite and Roblox?
supporting
They're both
the
free to play
growth of
fucking
gaming
games.
communities. How has that actually shown up for the players? Are there other games we can speak to from our portfolio?
Well, as Phil mentioned, I mean, two of the biggest ones for us, Call of Duty and Minecraft, I mean, they are driven just from the bottom up by the communities of people that play those games, which is so great. I think about it for the player community, it comes down to where are the friends, where are the people you play with, and then equally important is where have you built up your library of games, right? Where have you invested? Where's that library? I think those two things probably are some of the biggest influences on where people choose to play and what devices they choose to play.
Yeah.
When we think about, on the other side, the developer side, just any game developer wants their game to find the biggest audience possible. That's just the nature of building a game. You want people to enjoy and participate in what you've made. And I think we're in a unique position to deliver on that just because we are the platform. We build hardware, we've got a first-party games group, and then we've got a system that ties that together, that brings together your friends, your progression, your achievements, all of that. And I think that's really what has contributed to the momentum behind some of these communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at, just step back and you look at the history of the industry, we've moved from a place where it used to be that someone built and launched a game to accelerate hardware to actually the things we do with our hardware and with our platform are all in service of making those games bigger. And we think about that across all of the investments we make, the consoles we build, the investments we do with things like cross-play, cross-progression, the things that we're doing with cloud. How do we actually give more options to game creators so they can have the greatest success? I think one of the fun recent examples about this is actually Palworld. You know, Palworld was able to launch, they were a game preview, they launched in Game Pass, they also simultaneously launched in Steam. And through the combination of those things, you know, Pocket Pair was able to have this outsized success, and it was the largest third-party Game Pass launch ever. And that's all because we give creators options.
Would you? No. It's doing better on Steam. The Steam version is better than the Xbox Game Pass version. What are you talking about? I fucking hate this argument. It's so stupid. Like, more people are playing the Steam version because the Steam version is more up to date and better. But it's also an early access game, so it's also unfinished, and it probably won't ever be finished. Let's be honest.
Launch their games. We've got subscription, we've got retail, we've got free to play, we've got game preview, we have the consoles, we have our experience on PC, and they can access all of those things. And when we step back and we just look at the performance of our platform all up, we know it's working. We're at the highest level of users on console, the highest level of users on PC, the highest level of users on cloud ever. We have double-digit growth rate on PC and cloud, places where we're enabling creators to actually reach new players beyond the console ecosystem. And that's why we're leaning into it and doing more, because we see all those signals.
So we're talking about the role that hardware plays for creators, for the games and those communities. What about the role that hardware plays for us as a business, for Xbox?
When we look at our hardware, it really is, and Phil said this earlier, it's where you get like the most flagship seminal experience of Xbox.
Yeah, no, Xbox is dead. Like, I think the best way to look at it is once they've brought, I mean, you're bringing Sea of Thieves over, which is like a big game to bring over, right? Like, it's community driven. I understand why they're doing it, but if they do one, they're going to do them all eventually. They're going to see the money that they make out of it. And like, I think there's a big difference between bringing your games, your first party games, to PC compared to bringing them to a competitor's console. There's a very big difference there. You know what I mean? Difference such as, well, I mean, like, well, imagine if Mario was on PlayStation. Or imagine if Mario was on Xbox. It'd be weird. Right? I'm not saying Halo's coming to PlayStation yet. But it could. Like, they literally said it, more could come, like, as they're building their franchises, as new games come out, they could definitely bring Halo eventually to PlayStation. It's all about how much money they make, you know? Like, if they see profit and if they see money's coming in from PlayStation, they're going to pursue that. Because that's what drives businesses, you know? It's all about the money. But, like, you know, imagine if PlayStation brought over God of War to Xbox. It'd be weird. Like, bringing it to PC's one thing, but PC's its own, you know, they do their own thing. PC and Nintendo, like... PC's weird because it just brings in more money for Sony, but it isn't as bad because you're bringing it to a whole different player base, kinda. But PC, I don't really see it as like a competitor to console in a way because like I feel like consoles are just cheaper PCs. You know, I mean they are, right? But bringing like God of War to Xbox is like what? Or even a smaller game like I don't know, like Gravity Rush to Xbox. Like that's still pretty bad, right? And the same thing applies to this. Like, bringing Sea of Thieves, Grounded, Pentiment, and Hi-Fi Rush to PlayStation is weird. Especially since Hi-Fi Rush was supposed to be like a first-party game, right? Same thing with Grounded, first-party game. And Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is the biggest one there, in my opinion, because Grounded, Hi-Fi Rush, and Pentiment are all like Bethesda and Obsidian stuff, right? Well, Hi-Fi Rush is Bethesda, Obsidian is... Well, even though Obsidian and Sea of Thieves, the Obsidian games and Sea of Thieves are like the two big ones that stand out there because they've owned there for such a long time and they're bringing that over to PlayStation. Like, that's such a weird thing because like, oh yeah, we're bringing community-driven games over. You know what else is a community-driven game? Halo. Gears of War. You know what I mean? Like, where does it end? That's the thing. They're not like even in this. They're not even crystal clear with it. Like they're not naming the 4 games, even though we already know what they are because it's been revealed. So why did they try to like hide that? You know, like they're not clear with their messaging at all. And you can't trust what they say because we know from this motherfucker. Look at his face. That doesn't look like a guy that's telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like, some things, like, nobody wants this to. I don't want this to happen. I don't want like Sea of Thieves and Grounded and all that to come to PlayStation because that would mean the death of Xbox and that would mean, you know, it's going to open the floodgates. If one comes, they all come. That's how it works, right? I mean, look at PlayStation with PC, right? Soon they announced Horizon Zero Dawn comes to PC. One game came to PC, Zero Dawn, and now God of War's on PC, Spider-Man's on PC, Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man the first game. Ghost of Tsushima's apparently going to be coming to PC. Demon's Souls is going to be coming to PC. Helldivers 2 launched day 1 on PC. And now they've been talking about bringing games day 1 to PC overall. Right? Like, potentially doing that. Once companies see profit in something where they can make more money, they're going to pursue it. And that is a fact. And that is what's going to happen with Xbox. I don't want this to happen. I don't want any of their fucking games to come over the PlayStation, because in my opinion, that just devalues the fucking console. Like I said that when they announced bringing their games to PC, and it's the same thing with PlayStation. It just devalues the console because there's no real reason to get it anymore if all the games are launching on PC or another platform, right?
And it also represents a developer target. Our developers can build the specs of our hardware, and we invest to make sure they know when they do that, that the games are going to run great on our hardware, but they're also going to be able to be accessed across any.
Wait, what did they say? Did she say run great on our hardware?
Run great on our hardware, and we invest to make sure they know when they do that, that the games are going to run great on our hardware.
Wait, what did she say there? Did she say run great or going great? Going to run great on our hardware. Your biggest game, Starfield, is 30 FPS. What do you mean? Run great. What the fuck?
Hardware, but they're also going to be able to be accessed across any screen because of all the other investments we make. So we're giving them an easy way to access as many players as possible. And we actually have more creators right now building for Xbox than ever before by nature, thousands of them by nature of those investments. And we got more to come. There's some exciting stuff coming out in hardware that we're going to share this holiday. And we're also invested in the next generation roadmap. And what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
And then when we're talking about hardware too, there's these other considerations that are really important to our community, probably to each one of ourselves as well. When you talk about library, because I want to dig in on that a little bit more. You know, as we talk about cloud in the wider entertainment industry, there's conversations about streaming. How is that impacting how I own my content that I've invested in? So what can we say?
I'm muting myself because there's noise. Well, let's see what they say about
And then when we're
preservation.
talking about hardware too, there's these other considerations that are really important to our community, probably to each one of ourselves as well. When you talk about library, because I want to dig in on that a little bit more. You know, as we talk about cloud and the wider entertainment.
This is what I mean with the messaging. See how he said, like, before, Indiana Jones and Starfield isn't coming to PlayStation? And then he says this. You mentioned that Starfield and Indiana Jones aren't part of the four despite rumors, but will those ever come to PlayStation? I don't think we should as an industry ever roll out a game going to any platform. Like, oh, is he fucking dumb? Is he fucking stupid? You see what I mean? The messaging is all over the fucking place. This is somehow the first four to get over the dam, and then the dam's going to open and everything else is going. That's not the plan today. It's a message crafted by PR. It also seems like if it wasn't true, if more games weren't going to come, you'd flat out just say no. But he's kind of trying to, like, navigate that in a weird way. Like, I don't think we should, as an industry, ever roll out a game going to any other platform. We're focused on these four games and learning from the experience, aka seeing how well it sells, and then if it sells well, more will come. Like, exactly like I said, their fucking PR's all over the place, dude. I don't want to create a false expectation on those other platforms that this is somehow the first four to get over the dam, and then the dam's going to open, and then everything else is coming. That's not the plan. But then he says today. Like, if he said that's not the plan, period, okay. But he says today. You know what I mean? It's such weird messaging. I also don't want to mislead customers on those other platforms. We're launching these 4 games and we're excited about it. We're excited about the announced and everything else, but we'll see what happens for our business. But we'll, like, he and the PR/company's not on the same page. Well, this is him saying this. It's literally just a situation of if these games do well, they're going to bring more over. Like, obviously.
Entertainment industry, there's conversations about streaming. How is that impacting how I own my content that I've invested in?
You don't. You don't own your digital content, and
So
we know this.
what can we say about our stance around game preservation?
Yeah, you know, one of the high
Game preservation wasn't Forza Motorsport delisted from Microsoft Store? You can't play all the Forza games anymore, except physically.
highlights for me
I don't care if it's a licensing issue. It's Microsoft; they can afford it.
of being in this position was getting to stand on stage when we announced back compat coming to Xbox One. Like, it was fantastic. People were reading the teleprompter before I could read it.
And then they no longer do back compat,
And just feeling the energy in the
which I think
auditorium
is
as we were
baffling. Like, back compat, in my opinion, is the best part of Xbox, and now it's just like, yeah, we've stopped doing it.
to Xbox One. Like, it was fantastic. People were reading the teleprompter before I could read it. I'm a slow reader, and just feeling the energy in the auditorium as we were saying that, and online. You know, one of the cues I think us as being part of Microsoft take is looking at Windows and how Windows over decades
Windows sucks, though.
has
Windows 11's ass.
maintained software compatibility with things that are built on it. Like, I can still go back and play some of the games that I love playing on Windows.
Windows
from
7
decades
forever did.
ago, and it will still run. And we try to bring that same view to consoles. It's harder in console because the line between what the hardware is and what the game is in consoles is traditionally it's tighter, which makes compatibility, you end up doing these generational compatibilities that we've built. But I will say compatibility, the ability to not only play the games, but my saves are still there with our cloud save systems to try to keep the services up as long as we can so that people can play, is a tenet of what we are as Xbox. It's at our foundation. And when we look at future hardware generations and what we're gonna support, making sure that we respect, which is the word I use, respect the investments that people have made in Xbox going forward is fundamental. And the fact that you get entitlements when you buy a game from us on both Windows and Xbox also means you have
On
the ability
PlayStation
to play
now.
that game across a multitude of devices, which I think furthers the compatibility of the games that you own.
Can we go back to what Xbox stands for today? I think we've pretty much
Failure.
covered all of the elements, but if you could break it down for me.
You know, when you play on Xbox, what we're saying is
Like, Xbox, they're a disaster. Like, they have to bring their games to PlayStation? Why? Like, Xbox used to step, like, they were pushing PlayStation's fucking asshole in with the 360 generation, and now it's just like, yeah, we've give up. We're bringing 4 games, but more are definitely going to be coming. Like, let me finish the sentence. I'm reading something.
you're playing on a platform where you know the biggest games in the world are always going to be. You're playing on a platform where you get to access Game Pass. And all of the games from our incredible range of studios will always launch in Game Pass day one. And you're playing on a platform.
This is just PR talk. I don't give a fuck. The 4 games are Hi-Fi Rush, Penitence, and Sea of Thieves, according to Tom Warren. I mean, it's according to everyone. I mean, it's pretty obvious what they were going to be, but they literally, like, don't get it. Like, oh, is that? Is this it? Oh, here it is. The fuck? Microsoft says it will not rule out any other Xbox exclusive games also making their way to PS5 in the future. I mean, it's literally what I said. Like, PlayStation brought one game to PC and now a shit ton are coming to PC. Like, it's the same thing. But PlayStation, I think, are doing it a little bit better than what Microsoft did. Because Microsoft brought their games to PC day one pretty much immediately. The two big ones here are these two. In my opinion. And I guess Hi-Fi Rush, technically, because I mean, that came out last year. It's small. It's a smaller game, which makes you question why they even made it exclusive in the first place. Bad idea. What a bad idea scrolling onto a bad idea. Yeah, this... You mentioned that Starfield and Indiana Jones aren't part of the 4 despite rumors, but will those ever come to PlayStation? Like, the messaging there, dude. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, that was kind of like a nothing burger. But it's basically what we kind of expected. They're going to start off slow and then bring the whole... Like, I wasn't expecting them to just fully go, oh yeah, we're going full third party. Like, I wasn't expecting that. There was rumors of it, but I wasn't expecting that. It can't be small games either, because, I mean, Sea of Thieves is still popping off, right? I mean, I can just check Steam right now. Steam... Sea of Thieves. What are we looking at? This is why I don't stream at this time. It's fucking just constant noise in the background. 13,000 people playing it on Steam, right? I mean, it's not a lot, but it's still a pretty decent size. It's just this stands out to me. Like, it doesn't mean anything right now, but it will. Like, one game comes over, they're all coming over. That's how it works. This is wild. Like I mean, this is the Tom Warren tweet. Phil Spencer doesn't rule out Starfield and Indiana Jones coming to PS5, but then he literally said that they won't be coming to PS. That like he said. Oh, actually, no. Wait. He said the first 4 titles are not Starfield or Indiana Jones, right? But then he says he doesn't rule it out, so it could still happen. That shit I don't care about. Get rid of that. Like, delete that. F12. Hang on. Get rid of this. This is why I said don't believe what Phil Spencer says. He's literally contradicted himself like immediately. Yeah, it's like they can't give the community a straight answer. Like, it's a case-by-case thing, which is automatically just... Yeah, all of them are gonna come over. So dumb, dude. Like, can they just not be clear with their messaging? It's not hard. Like, it really isn't. Well, VIP Xbox, I guess. But when are the games coming, though? I love how they said they won't say what they are, and then they immediately just get revealed anyway. Like, what the fuck is the point? Did Xbox actually, like, reveal the titles? Like, Xbox's, like, channel itself, or Xbox's Twitter? I don't know, man. This is gonna be interesting. I just think like this is the beginning. Like it is like they kind of mentioned it's them like opening the floodgates, so to speak. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel on it. It's weird. Like, if they literally just said, yeah, like, no, we ain't going third party, I'd be like, alright, fair. Fine. No games are coming to PlayStation. I'd be like, okay. But now that they've said games are coming to PlayStation, and then they said, like, it doesn't rule out more games coming, it's just like, well, rest in peace Xbox, I guess. I just don't see why people aren't more concerned about this. Like, a lot of Xbox fans are like, yay, yay, it's only 4 games. Yeah. You're dumbasses. You're fucking stupid. This is how Xbox gets away with doing this shit, because you're fucking stupid. But they're literally just going to go, yep, let's bring the games to PlayStation. Let's bring more. Let's bring more. Let's bring more. Let's bring more and more and more and more and more, and they keep going. Because there's literally no reason for them to bring Sea of Thieves and Grounded over. It's just a random. Like, why them 2 titles? Like, Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush I could understand because they're smaller games, but Grounded and Sea of Thieves are pretty, like, you know, like, they're popular on Xbox, right? A lot of people play them still. So it's weird to bring them over, considering their first party. I don't get it. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't understand why they needed a week to prep for this. And it was a pre-recorded podcast too. Like, I don't get why they needed a week just to say, like, only 4 games are coming and then not discuss them 4 games. I understand that they want, like, the studios to announce the games and stuff, but it's already been leaked. Like, we already know what they are. There's no point. You should have just said them. Like, trying to navigate that and be like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna build up the anticipation. It's like, how can we anticipate that? Because it's literally just the beginning of the end for Xbox. Like, once you bring one, they all come. That's how it works. I mean, look what happened. I guess in a way you can kind of look what happened with PC releases with Xbox, right? Like, they brought one game over PC day one, and then the rest followed. Every single Xbox game became a PC day one game. Same thing with PlayStation. PlayStation starts releasing games on PlayStation. PlayStation has released more and more and more, and now they're actually debating on doing, like, day one releases on PC. God, people are so dumb, dude. They're literally not seeing what Xbox are doing here. It's literally a business move. Like, let me find the... thingy again. He literally said,
We obviously want to continue to invest in parting community-driven game to play with. We love C. We see an opportunity allowing damage. You know, I think there is an interesting story for us of introducing Xbox franchises to players on other platforms to get them more interested in Xbox.
and he says it right there. That's a perfect statement right there. He literally says it right there. Bringing Xbox franchises to other platforms to get people more interested in Xbox. You don't have to buy, Xbox isn't the console anymore. They literally said, throughout this whole thing, I don't think they ever referred to Xbox as a brand being the console. You know? Which is bad.
To invest in part of having the ability to continue to invest is at the
Where do they talk about
talking
Starfield?
about the title
You are thinking about the future and this concept of live service games.
games that are coming to Xbox. There, you want anywhere you want when everybody plays, we all win, and that's really business value. But,
Where's Indiana Jones Starfield?
So the question.
They're not
Titles are Starfield or Indiana.
It'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are
So the first 4 titles are not Starfield or Indiana Jones. And then he says, don't rule it out. I'm like, what? I mean, to be fair, the rumors have been true, right? I mean, we knew Sea of Thieves was coming. That was the first big rumor. It was Hi-Fi Rush, and then it was Sea of Thieves, right? And then more rumors started jumping on that, like Starfield, Indiana Jones, Halo, right? So if the Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush rumors were true, what does that say about the other rumors? If Sea of Thieves and Grounded and all these games do well, they're going to do it. I mean, I've repeated myself 5 times here, but just to get the point across, that is what they're gonna do, which is bad, but also weirdly good. Because I mean, it would be cool to play like I said, Grounded and Sea of Thieves on PlayStation. It would be kind of cool, especially with the boys. But it's just not good for Xbox as a business, in my opinion. I just don't see it as a good business move, especially for the community too. You're being kind of abandoned for PlayStation. What's the point of owning the Xbox anymore other than just Game Pass? If your whole the system that you grew up playing, Xbox 360, becomes literally just a subscription service, that is bad. And that's the only thing that Xbox has right now. Game Pass. And that's their biggest marketing scheme, Game Pass Day 1. Without that, they won't have shit. And yeah, they've talked about the next generation of consoles, and it's just you mean your digital console, whatever you're fucking working on there. I don't know. If subscription revenue is so high, you know they will do it. Yeah. I mean, if they're not making I feel like they probably aren't making money. I mean, they've got 34 million subs. It's took them 6 years to get that. While subscription services like Netflix and Disney got 100 mil within a few years. Not that many years. Well, Disney Plus, it was pretty quick. Right? It was like a year to get to 100 mil, and 100 mil isn't even enough because they're still spending more money than making it on Disney Plus. Right? So imagine that for games. Games cost a lot of money to make, especially AAA. Right? And just because like people are like Game Pass for me, I don't actually buy Game Pass. Like I just use the Microsoft reward system. I don't buy it out of my money because you don't need to, and that's the problem with it. Like there's ways to get Game Pass for technically free, right? So how are they making money off that? I guess the reward system translates into money somehow. I don't know. I just don't get why though. I don't like it'd be like if PlayStation just came out and did like at the end of a state of play, we're bringing God of War to Xbox. You know, it would like what? Maybe not God of War. Maybe something like Until Dawn or something. Like. That's the only game I could think of. Like something smaller, but not like as big as God of War or like Last of Us. Maybe like Days Gone or something. Like Days Gone coming to Xbox. Like it'd be weird. Mario coming to PlayStation. Like it doesn't matter whether it's a small title or big title, it's still an Xbox title coming over to PlayStation. It's just strange. And it's bad, because it literally is the beginning of the end in a way. Although they don't give the names of the games, but that they're gonna the first 4 that they're gonna bring over, but they basically allude to what they're talking about in when they say this. Like 2 community-driven games. I mean, that can only really be Grounded, Sea of Thieves, maybe Halo, and then 2 smaller games, Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment. I mean, they literally said, like, a lot of people saying, oh, you know, everyone was expecting Starfield and thingy. Well, maybe not straight away, but eventually they'll come, because he says that they're not a part of the first 4.
Starfield? No?
Not Starfield.
Well, what was the
He said that.
Starfield or Indiana?
It'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria?
Let me read that Verge article. Like the full article of it. Taken on their own, today's gaming announcements from Microsoft might not seem all that earth-shattering. A handful of unspecified Xbox games are coming to rival platforms. See, that's the big thing there. Rival platforms. But that's an issue. That's bad. The subscriber numbers for Game Pass have grown. Barely. I mean, they've grown, what, 10 mil in a few years? Like it was at like 25 mil for years. Diablo 4 will lead the rush of Activision Blizzard titles. But I swear nobody likes Diablo 4. Like, I'm not just saying it as like, oh, because Xbox own it. It literally is. I don't think the community likes Diablo 4. And more hardware is on the way, including a powerful next-gen console and power. If you care about power, just get a PC. And possibly a handheld, but they all point to a future that Microsoft hasn't exactly been shy about, making Xbox into more than just a console. In an internal memo to employees, Microsoft Gaming CEO, we have a different vision for the future of gaming, a future where players have a unified experience across devices, a future where players can easily discover a vast array of games with a diverse spectrum of business models, a future where more creators are empowered to realize their creative vision, reach a global audience, unite their communities, and succeed commercially, a future where every screen is an Xbox. I'm going to learn about what happens with our players. Instead of committing to every big Xbox game also being on another platform on the upfront that will never be occur if Starfield hits PS5, the company is testing the waters with a few... Okay. He literally says it. Oh, no, wait. Okay. That's just... Okay, that's not him saying that. Because I saw the quotations and I was like, but it ends there. If this turns out to be a dead end for the Xbox brand, no real harm, but if titles like Pentiment or Sea of Thieves become multi-platform hits, it's easy to see the initiative expanding with games from other Xbox studios like Bethesda. We just want to make sure it's good for the long-term health of Xbox. I mean, it should be, right? A lot of people, a lot of people are going to buy it. Because a lot of people haven't had the chance, like, to play them games. The same thing if Halo came to PlayStation, like, people would absolutely fucking love that. But I would personally be a bit mixed on it. Like, it's cool to play Halo on PlayStation, but it's Halo on PlayStation. It doesn't belong here. The question, of course, is whether this is strategy that will ultimately work, and it's clearly far too early to tell. What is clear is that something has to change. For years, Microsoft has been in a steady third place compared to its biggest rivals, and both PlayStation and Nintendo have largely stayed firm on the idea of selling consoles with big exclusive games. As part of its efforts, Microsoft... Where's this, like, Tom Warren thing, then? Like... What the fuck is it? Like, that wasn't the like, that's the article, but they don't talk about like Starfield. Here we go. Our business model is not just about hardware sales. It's not just about first-party game sales. It's a diverse business model that leads to the business success that we're seeing today. So it's all about money, right? And there you go. If the games sell well, they'll do more. I don't know, I feel like they've opened the floodgates. This is bad. I don't like it. Just be crystal clear with your messaging, dude. It's so stupid. Even if they said, like, if they literally just said, oh, we're going full third party, I'd be like, okay, well, VIP. But now that they're, like, kind of weirdly on the fence about it, it's just troubling. Because now it's still likely going to happen. It's not 100%, but it's still likely going to happen. Does it say it on here? There we go. Get flashbanged. Oh, is there not a dark mode on this? Like, what the fuck? Microsoft has been gradually moving Xbox away from the idea of a single piece of hardware in recent years. Why is publishing more games on multiple platforms key to improving the long-term success of Xbox? The game themselves have just a great opportunity to grow, aka they're not doing well. When you find a successful game that's working, that's finding great customers on our Xbox console, on PC, you think about how do I make sure those game franchises continue to grow. We can invest in them. They can continue to thrive and find new customers. The software part of the business is an easier part of the business to grow and scale. I mean, if they want their business to grow, and that's like their whole marketing thing, you can't have it just stuck on Xbox. And that is a fact. I understand, like, it's on cloud, it's on PC, but there needs to be more than just that. Because Xbox, at the end of the day, like, PC does better than Xbox sales, right? So they need to bring it to other platforms to save face, in a way. It becomes more about success. Both have to do the bits actually. Both who the bits actually get to the screen, and even some business model success. If the goal is more people playing games and more people discovering them, why just these 4 games and not more? You say you want to learn from these, but surely if they're hugely successful and you see that more people are playing them, then you'll do more in the future, right? And then he says, yeah, but we haven't seen that yet. We're like, dude. He literally says it there. Yet. Like, if they do well, it's gonna happen. Well, obviously, one of the biggest publishers on PlayStation and Nintendo today, when you think about the Activision... I mean, you can't count a lot of these games, though. Like, you didn't make these games that came out under these developers. So we know what it means to ship games on Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. What games did they ship for these? On PlayStation, when they bought them? No Bethesda, like the only Bethesda, I guess Deathloop and Ghostwire? But they were already going to be coming to PlayStation anyway. Blizzard... Call of Duty, I guess? These are games that originally launched on Xbox. They were Xbox-branded games. We want to see what happens, because going and... See, this is what I mean. This is what I meant by it. Like, Sea of Thieves and Grounded are Xbox-branded games. Like, that's what's weird about it to me. Going and doing the development work to bring them to new platforms is real work. We want to make sure that the return makes sense. We want to make sure the audience that's there has an appetite. Maybe they don't. We'll also watch what happens on Xbox as well. Our goal would be that the communities of those games grow. They grow and they thrive. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when we take that games that launch originally on Xbox and PC and bring them over to other consoles, other closed platforms. We don't know. We've done it a couple of times, obviously, or we went over to the Switch after we had launched. We've launched Psychonauts 2 on both platforms. I mean, Psychonauts 2 was supposed to come to PlayStation anyway, so that's kind of stupid. We have some data about what happens there. We just want to make sure it's good for the long-term health of Xbox. He testified that putting Xbox games on PlayStation means that Sony uses that 30% of revenue that they get from those transactions to try and basically kill Xbox and undermine Xbox in certain ways. So why would you want to do more games on that platform if that's the case? True. Maybe this is why we're doing 4 as of now. I'm going to learn about our partnership with other platforms. I'm going to learn about what happens with our players. I think it will benefit the games that we're playing there, and that's a good thing for us. And if we can use other platforms that have gamers, and maybe some of those gamers don't want to play on PC and don't want to play on Xbox, and that can help our business. See, that's bad. If they don't want to play on Xbox, that's bad. Why you bring up Power? Power's got nothing to do with that. Switching the hardware side of this equation, you've mentioned the new console control options will come this holiday. Are those leaked? I don't know about any leaks. I don't know what you're talking about. Final question. With more Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch, what is Xbox to Microsoft now? Xbox is our gaming platform, not the console, and content business. It's the #1 consumer business that Microsoft has. I think you might have commented on looking at last quarter's earnings. We're now with the 3rd largest business in the company. It's important business. I don't know, man. I'm mixed on that. I don't. I mean, that podcast definitely felt like it's just a PR thing. Also, one of the developers of fucking Suicide Squad, what the fuck? Why realistically would you buy an Xbox now? He ain't wrong. You can literally get all their games on PC. Controller is better. Controller's better. Why is it that loud? Meanwhile, PlayStation controller. You can't even fucking hear it. Like, I'm literally moving the analog stick now. This is me trying to move the analog stick on the on the PS5 controller fast. Doing it on the Xbox controller. Like what? Better control on my ass. Better user interface. More powerful. That. Is he brain dead? More powerful? Get a fucking PC if you care about power. Like, I don't like more. You can't have more powerful and console in the same fucking sentence. It doesn't work like that. Better ecosystem with Microsoft Awards, haven't they? I do use Microsoft Awards, but they've been doing some weird shit with it lately. They've been making shit more expensive. They've been making it so you get less reward points. Cloud, no one cares about that. Game Pass, sure. And then he says I can get all this with a PC, and he's not wrong. He ain't wrong. And with cloud, you don't even need an Xbox. Right? You can just use your phone. I'm not saying cloud's good, but I'm just saying, like, you don't need an Xbox for that. PCs cost too much and are a pain in the ass. Save up then. Fuck. If you can save up to buy an Xbox and all the games, you can save up to get a PC. Like, come on. It's not hard. You don't have to buy a console, right? Like, you can save up. I mean, I'm literally, like, what am I on right now? I'm on my PC. Meanwhile, the Xbox is just chilling on my desk. What have you done? I turned you on like a week ago. And it was just like fucking 10 gig updates for games. Because I haven't turned it on in ages. You don't do anything. You're just there. Day one first party games and commitment to cross-play, cross-save. If you have a PC, that's pretty much no incentive. I do appreciate Xbox's backwards compatibility for all the titles. I feel like if you have a PC, you've got infinite backwards compatibility. You've got all the emulators. You've got all the games still available on Steam still. Some of them not. But, you know, if games have been delisted and you can't find them anywhere, just fucking pirate them. Because if the companies don't give a shit about them games, then, you know, why should the customers support the devs, right? If you're all in on Game Pass, it's the cheapest, most reliable way to access that library of games. But it's also going to be the death of Xbox, because look what's happening to Hellblade 2. Digital-only fucking release for a game that got announced like 4 years ago. Backwards compatibility. I will say the backwards compatibility is the best part of Xbox, but the fact that they stopped supporting it like 2 years... Was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Is bad, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of that. Shouldn't be just scrolling onto where this is about. I'm going to move that just in case. So it's only mainly to play exclusive older Xbox games. Yeah, like Gears of War 2 and 3. That's fucking dumbass. Starfield is staying exclusive. It can. Well, it's not. It's not because it's. What is this? Hang on. Steam. Hello? Steam? What? Every next-gen kid is going to choose PlayStation or PC. I mean, yeah, that's true. What about Steam? I mean, I wanted to start Steam. It's just taking ages to load. That's what I get for having my fucking operating system on a hard drive instead of the SSD. Yes, I've got 1p in my account. Right. So this motherfucker says Starfield is staying Xbox exclusive. The fuck is this? This doesn't look like an Xbox to me. It looks like fucking Steam. Like what? And I mean, look at that. Fucking mixed reviews, dude. Actually, I'm curious what the reviews are saying. I wanted to wait until I finished the story to review this game. What story? There's a fucking story. It's a pile of shit. But I just cannot bring myself to play it anymore. So here we are. The Starfield review warning there will be very minor spoil. What is there to spoil? None of it matters. In short, a barren wasteland painted with a layer of gold. What was it? It's like... Check the positive ones. I hope this review finds readers who, like me, who were originally somewhat dismayed at the mixed and mediocre reviews about this game, but also had bought an entirely new rig to play it. You bought a whole fucking PC to play this shit? You're a dumbass. Motherfucker, if there's a game, like a game that you'd buy a PC for, like if I was to buy a PC, like let's say next year, even though I've got a decent enough PC, but like if I was gonna get a PC to play a new game, you know what game that would be? GTA 6 or Baldur's Gate 3, right? Not this pile of fucking doodah. To me, as a lifelong fan of all things science fiction, games, TV, movies, and comics, it's fine. And all science fiction space games, yeah, that's fine. Dyson Sphere, what the fuck? I thought that Dyson's, what is that? Dyson, isn't that the fucking Hoover? Explore planets, discover random outposts, shoot down pirate ships, mow down a space bandit compound and all of their shit. Build small outposts, and if I feel like it, I can follow the main story. Is the main story underwhelming? Well, kind of, but I don't care. What? What? I can fulfill my childhood dreams and be a captain. Of what? Fucking loading screens? Like, you barely fly your fucking ship. What do you mean? Like, you can't get immersed in Starfield because every 2 fucking minutes there's a loading screen. Or the facial animations are fucking garbage for a game that came out in 2023. Like, the AI don't care about the story they're telling you. The voice acting isn't that good either. Like, what the fuck? Commander crew. Which is useless, by the way. The crew stuff doesn't really do anything at all. And I do feel like your companions are all the fucking same. You shoot one person, and like they get mad at you. It's just like, what? You're supposed to be my companion. Who gives a fuck what I'm doing? Just do it with me. Have multiple ships. But the one thing you can't do is have a fleet of ships. For a space game, it's pretty fucking garbage, isn't it? That you can't have a fleet of ships going into a planet and have massive space battles with you and command your ships, your other ships. Like, that would be better than having one crew on one ship. Instead, have all your crew go onto other ships and then you can fight together. Oh, almost like that would have made a better fucking spaceship, like, system. Instead of it just being like, all of you are on one ship. Because then, like, you've always got a limited space with the crew you have, right? I'm not sure how much this game was hyped, but it's satisfying, exceeded my expectations. It's a mix of my favourite space games with somewhat Western traditional Bethesda. Want to see what other games he played? I feel like Witcher's on her. It's got a Siri fucking picture. Nothing here. Wait, I mean, he's got trophies. Midnight Suns, City Skylines. I mean, this is weird. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. Fucking stalking someone's account. It's weird. After spending 100 hours with it, I finally feel qualified to say I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? But you review it positive. Like, just do a like. Is there not a? I guess it doesn't give you like a like mixed on it. Right? You don't give like a kind of review. The atmosphere, visuals, and gameplay are all good. Don't know about these two. But there's something missing. True. In Skyrim and Fallout 4, you're in a bespoke world with interactivity and frequent encounters, all with an amazing attention to detail. In Starfield, you have space. I've written very few reviews, I guess I'm a freeloader. Context, I've played and loved several Bethesda titles. My verdict on this, it's big, beautiful game that has some wonderful payoff. Starfield tries to do some new and cool things with narrative and game design. What? New things with narrative? You mean a fucking multiverse? That isn't new. That isn't new. How's that new? And game design? We've had, like, Rift Apart literally did it. Right? Like, Rift Apart, you were going through different dimensions dead fucking fast. That's, the, like, what? Many works, some are a bit but points for effort. What he liked, mastering ship flight and combat and building or tweaking ships. The effort to do some newer stuff with religion. Huh? The grey areas of moral complexity of fuck off. Of many choices. We debunked the choices as we were playing it. Remember, I made that choice like, if I kill the guy that's in charge of this company, he said, if you're going to do this, the company will collapse. I kill him, and then someone comes up to me, he's like, oh my god, you killed him! Oh, the company will be fine. Okay, so why did you give me a warning saying, like, if I killed him, the company would collapse? Like, what? Also, none of the factions quests came back at any point towards the end of the game. They kind of went over the things that happened in like the final cutscene, but none of it matters because then you just jump into a new universe. And also, how can you have an RPG game with one fucking ending? What the fuck? There are repeating temples you go to that will unlock some new abilities. I found them repetitive and sadly something like mini bosses or puzzles of some sort. Seemingly major NPCs, especially in Constellation, but whom you never get in your party, seems a missed opportunity. Far from perfect, definitely needs mods and improvements by Bethesda. Okay, if you start out your review by saying the game needs mods and improvements, then it isn't a good game. Like what? Some point after the 30th collapsed mine with the exact same layout, with the exact same corpse placement, with the exact same notes on them, it just gets old. My friends and I have separate channel in Discord where we rant about problems with the game. We do so multiple times a week. When I first jumped into the game, I was amazed. So much to do and so much to explore. It's kind of how I felt. I was like, it's alright so far. But it didn't last. Yeah. You knew this was coming from the outside. And when you just dip your finger in, it certainly looks like there's a lot to Starfield, but you eventually realize that there really isn't. A mile wide and an inch deep, that's what it is. That's what I was going to say. A mile wide and an inch deep encapsulates this game perfectly. There are good things about Starfield, make no mistake, but nearly without fail, it's stunted by the bad things and prevented from... See, I trust people who have this amount of hours in the game because they can actually criticize it. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got like 60, 70 hours in it, I think. I tried for about 21 hours. 21 hours, that isn't enough time. I can... Fucking dumbass is saying that. I can say I gave it a fair chance to convince me the pre-purchase I made, but no, it's just so boring and feels like a chore to play. The average NPC in Skyrim has more personality than the main NPCs here. Another no is for the most innovative gameplay Steam award they got. Oh yeah, they did get that, didn't they? Yeah, look, most innovative gameplay award. What? That has to be a joke. They nominated that as like a joke. Lacks a soul that we love from previous games. In previous games, I would feel excited to explore new areas, to find interesting Easter eggs, random encounters, quests, and meet new NPCs. It also feels slow and there's a lack of freedom. This guy got it for free. As wide as an ocean, as deep as a puddle. Even a puddle is fun to splash around in for a little bit. Then it loses its appeal and you realise you're all muddy. Probably a quarter of that is messing with the ship build. I played through just about everything on my first go of it. I had an admittedly fun time and then tried to keep going with the New Game Plus. But the more you play this game, the less enjoyable it becomes. That is what I said, dude! That is what I said! The more I played it, the more pissed off I got. I'm glad some people feel the same way. Clearly, well, one guy feels the same way. Everything negative people say about this game is true. It just isn't super obvious until you've played it for a time. Does the game deserve an overwhelmingly negative score on Steam? No. Does it deserve a mixed overall score? Yes. I got this game for free, so I don't feel super disappointed. If I paid full price for it, though, I would feel like I was robbed. The game has such deep fundamental flaws that I doubt any amount of updates or DLC will ever fix it, so I do not recommend getting it unless it's steeply discounted. Honestly, I would get a refund if I could. The problem is in the game really show up after you've played 2 hours, so I'm out of luck, but save yourself $120, homie. Why 120? Boring, empty, soulless, unpleasant to play. Todd told me I'd be exploring space, not fast travel menus. True. 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 Ain't wrong. You think they would already have experience in Skyrim, Dragon Age, and Fallout? You said Dragon Age? Yeah, Dragon Age. It's like covered by the fucking thing. Yeah, I don't understand why Xbox did like a podcast for this. They literally could have just been a fucking tweet. Anyway, you know what I'm going to be doing? Oh, wait, what? Why am I level 10? I think you meant to say fucking, Dragon. I guess Daggerfall was, yeah, BioWare's that. But wait, why am I level 10? Did I get fucking D-ranked? What happened?
Helldivers rage against the enemy's tyranny. Join them.
What the fuck happened? I mean, it's still nearly level 11. Is it because I quit out of the game, maybe? Also, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll be level 11 again anyway. The robots have pushed this. There's new missions. Defend. We've got a defend campaign.
Every moment we ruminate,
They've pushed up.
another family is torn limb from limb. We must strike.
So we'll be playing that later. Anyway, I'll probably get level 11 off stream or something, because what the fuck? That's bullshit, dude. Anyway, I will see you for... No, I'll stream later. Stream in like an hour or two. So like normal time, like 11:45ish. But yeah, I mean, this stream didn't really need to be a thing, to be honest. I do feel like a lot of it was kind of pointless. Stream what game? Continue. No, we're streaming this. We're streaming Helldivers 2. Tomorrow we'll do FF7. Because I like the big update with the automatons and stuff I want to play. Nah, it should be a thing. I mean, I don't know. This stream is it's kind of weird. Like I feel like it was just a bit underwhelming. Like not underwhelming, but it's just like they could have just tweeted it out. Like all that like build up and like making people wait a full week just to basically something that could have just been in a tweet. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Well, wait, the 34 million Game Pass subs included the Xbox Live Gold people they converted to Xbox or Game Pass Core. That is very small. That's a very little growth. I mean, I said that. I literally said 34 million isn't a lot. Like, it's pretty bad for a subscription service. Losing money. Yep. That's why they have to come bring their games to PlayStation. It's their own fault. They shouldn't have gone down the Game Pass route. But now they have to stick to it because it became so big for them, you know? If they go away from that, then Yeah, I mean, this just, I feel like that whole Xbox thing just opens the rumors up more. You know what I mean? Like, what happens after the first 4 games are out, right? The people saying like, oh, you know, I feel relaxed. You're fucking dumbasses, because you know more are gonna come. Anyway, I'm gonna fucking play a little bit of Helldivers 2 off stream, and then I'll stream later more of it. I'm curious what these defend campaigns are. I probably won't do them off stream though. I'll probably do just the Terminid stuff on off stream, and then we'll off stream to just get to level 11, because I was level 11 before. I just want to get to level 11 again. And then I'll be back in like an hour or two. Stream Helldivers 2. Do the defend missions with the automatons. And, you know, Bob to your uncle and all that. Anyway. I will see you in 2 hours-ish. Maybe less than that, like an hour and a half. Something like that. The more Helldivers 2. Should be pretty good. Pretty fucking good. See you there. Hope you enjoyed the stream and the weird news shit that could have just been a tweet. Whatever. It is what it is. Ta-ta. And farewell. Starfield sucks.